Having a positive learning environment and high expectations helps all students to understand the basic routines and also helps them to progress in the classroom. Through our case studies, you will see how strategies employed to raise expectations amongst children in Bolton have had a positive impact on their learning.
A positive learning environment in any school is crucial in ensuring students make fantastic progress. So at Little Lever we introduced the Perfect Climate, which provides a clear, consistent language and shared approach to teaching across the school. Students and staff understand what each aspect of the Perfect Climate means. So for example, our Perfect Climate 1 is where students work independently on their own, silent and focused. Our approach to pair and group work comes under Perfect Climate 2, where students are actively engaged in their learning and discussions are focused on the task in hand. Perfect Climate 3 is simple. One voice, everyone listens, whether that's a teacher speaking to the class or a student addressing the class as a whole. The impact of the Perfect Climate is that students now have a clear framework in which to develop their own learning, become independent and focused on what they need to do in every lesson. An example of how we're developing the Perfect Climate now this term is to use our Perfect Climate 1 as an entry protocol with a Connect Now activity to immediately engage students in their learning at the start of the lesson. We're also using staff and student voice as a way of developing the Perfect Climate, and students are really keen to push this further in their own learning.
Core Routines has helped me create a safe and structured environment for our students at Bolton St Catherine's Academy to thrive in. At the start of every lesson, it's my job to meet and greet the students at the classroom door. This helps me create a really positive environment. So as the students enter the classroom, there'll be a Do Now activity on the board. It's usually written instructions that every student can access. Usually focuses on learning from a previous lesson. This helps aid recall. For a teacher, it's brilliant because it's a great opportunity to assess what they've managed to retain, and it's great for the students as they can focus on any gaps in their learning. Work Ready is our strategy where students will enter a classroom and make sure that they have all their equipment on the desk.
When Miss Flack greeting us at the door, it just gives us a good vibe for the lesson and it makes us work ready, so then we can start the lesson as soon as possible and do the Do Now on the board.
And it means we're using our time correctly, which means we get more learning out of our 50-minute lessons.
This year we introduced a new management and motivation policy. Within that we've used Steps to Success language within our lessons. It's really positive language which creates a good culture within our lessons and in our environment. Students understand the expectation when they enter my classroom to ensure that they get the best out of their lesson and make the most of their learning and teaching time.
We have been doing a project where we've focused on our discipline policy. Learners are rewarded every day for doing what we expect them to do. So that's as simple as being on time for school, being on time for lessons, being ready to start learning and engaging in their classroom activities. Every lesson, every learner has the opportunity to get at least 5 positive behaviour points, and the girls receive certificates and badges, and also it all goes towards an end of year reward trip to Blackpool. The impact of this has been fantastic.